We talk politics, news, and Nigeria. We talk page by page on Romy Royal Television. Welcome to this amazing edition of the Autopsy segment on Page by Page. My name is Gratitude Imokwede, and this is where we talk about all pressing issues in our society. And I'm not doing this alone. I have my amazing colleague with me, Bode George. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, Gratitude. Hope you're doing good.
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you.
And good day to our amazing viewers. You're welcome to yet another episode of Page by Page on Romy Royal Media.
Thank you. To all our amazing viewers out there, you are welcome. So diving into our topic of discussion for today, we're talking about three very interesting stories. The first one is a statement made by Chief Bode George over the certification of our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and Monday Okpebholo's forest guard training, which we have all seen over the weekend making rounds on social media. And lastly, the law that was passed pertaining women sitting at the front of tricycles in Kano and Sokoto State. So which should we commence with?
Let's talk about Mr. President.
Okay.
So it's crazy that Nigerians are looking at the wrong thing. You get? It's crazy Nigerians are looking at the wrong thing, because if you ask me, you get, what we should be looking at is not his results. We should be looking at how well he has done in these 4 years in office. You get? I feel personally, because constitutionally, it is not required for someone to have a WAEC certificate or any of that. You just have to prove that, okay, you went to secondary school and you get. So, if this person has done well in your books, you get, very well, bring him in. And you tell us why you think he has also done very well. Because I watched a video where he met with Catholic cardinals over the weekend, and they were telling him that Nigeria is bleeding. And he was like, where is Nigeria bleeding from? Because he's not seeing it.
Nostrils.
You understand? So, if you think this person is actually doing well, and you think that, okay, you want to bring this person back into power, then fine and good. And another thing again I have to say again is, if this thing had been another political party or another presidential candidate, you get, we would have seen that they would be in courts now, trying to fight for their lives to stay back in the elections. You get, because just like I've always said on this show, most of these institutions have turned to political tools for the hands of these APC-led people. You get, because now, if the other day I saw that the court told INEC to scrap out the ADC. You get, so if it's another political party or if it's another politician, another presidential candidate, you see them running about trying to say, oh, this person does not have the right to contest and all of that. But that's not what we are saying. What I have to say is, let us forget that part. He's already in the ballots, whether we like it or not. You get? So, we, the voters, we have the right to choose who our leaders are. You understand? So let us come out and choose our leaders. You get? Irrespective of the fact of, okay, whether they have this or they have... That one is left for...
Well, honestly, I beg to differ. When you mention that is really not a priority, it is actually a priority. Honestly, we have something... I would just say that something is really wrong with our structure, with our system. The foundation is damaged. You said that the constitution doesn't necessarily demand someone in that position to have any, but why? That is where we have the question. Let me state what Chief Bode said in particular. He said, and I quote, "How can Nigeria have someone as our president with no proper birth certificate, no primary school certificate, no secondary school certificate, questionable university certificate, forfeited $460,000 from proceeds of drugs to the US government?" Then he had three questions which so many Nigerians have as well. The first one is, how can you get employed into the Nigerian public service without the above documents? Now, you would see that aside from our public services, even the private sectors, you cannot get employed without this certification. So why is the major office held in the nation don't need those documents? How come? How would you not need those documentations for the position of the president, someone leading over a nation, has no identity, no birth certificate, and we are cool with it. I think this is where Nigerians need to ask themselves some questions and be very honest with themselves. You can actually say the first time might be a mistake or just being gullible or ignorant. But if it happens a second time, then we're just being played dumb. We are being plain dumb. You elect someone with no identity into power to rule over you. You don't know where it's from, his origin, or anything. So what happens when you bring him into power the second time? We have seen what happened in this tenure. We ignore signs, and the next one we're going to see is wonders. Trust me, we're going to see
end.
that will not end, because it's going to be horrible. Take it from me. Then he went further to ask again, saying that how can Nigerians blessed with people of our intellectuals elect such a person like Tinubu? That is his opinion, not mine. But it just goes to show that there are so many things wrong with our system. If a common man trying to apply for a job as a doctor, as a teacher, as an engineer needs this major certificate, how much more the position of the president? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
so
you.
it really doesn't make any sense to me. It is really of priority, trust me. And in response to this question raised by Chief Bode, the public policy analyst Deyemi Saka came out in defense of the president, saying, and I quote, "I don't see the big deal in the president only uploading his university credentials to INEC. Make it make sense. You are saying we should not ask questions. Why shouldn't we ask questions?"
Do not forget also that we are in an administration where a fake government agency came out from nowhere. Nobody appointed them. Nobody appointed the director general. So this APC-led administration has a lot of flaws. There are a lot of flaws in this administration, but my concern to Nigerians is we do not need to focus on this whole first school living certificate.
We need to focus on it, because that is, see, the
Okay,
fact that
what
it
then
has been happening over
we
time
do?
doesn't
See,
mean it is normal.
it's not. That's the thing.
It is
We do
not. How can
have-
we have that kind of a constitution that requires the president not to have like legit, not even legit, like proper certificate of documentation of school and all of that? Why?
See, it is
For me to be employed as a doctor, I need to be paid a certain amount of money. I need to apply
Definitely.
with my PhD or with my master's. But the position of the president can be applied with an O level and a very ridiculous amount to buy the form. Like, make it make sense.
So this is what section 131D of the 1999 Constitution said. It says the president has to have been educated up to at least secondary school level. You get, like, he has to prove a certificate at least that he went to secondary school. You understand? See, all I'm just saying is Nigerians do not have to focus, because there's little to nothing we can do. Our strengths are in the polls. You get? Okay, you're coming out to say, okay, this person, just like we discussed on Friday about the case of Mr. Temple that was attacked in Delta State. You get? This is not the way to go about it. Fine and good. You do not have this certificate. We do not want you as our leader. We want someone that is educated as our leader. You go to the polls and you make your...
Not educated. We want someone with an identity. He doesn't have a birth certificate.
You understand? Someone with an identity. We want someone with an identity. Fine and good. You go to the polls and you say, okay, this is the person we want. You understand? So, just like there's an adage they say that someone has the knife and they're also holding the yam. You get, Nigerians at this point have both the knife and the yam in their hands. So this is not the time to come out to say, okay, we do not want this person because he doesn't have an identity, and you say it and you sit back in your houses. This is not the time to do that. This is time to, as you're saying it, because it's something that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said when he was contesting for 2023 election. He said the elections are not won online. They're not won from your houses. And that's the thing. If you want to enact this change, you have to come out and do your background study between these three major persons: Atiku Abubakar, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and Mr. Peter Obi. Who has the best? Who is best to lead this country, in your opinion? You get, and you come out and you do the right thing. You understand? So that's just it.
I completely understand you, not just by saying, but by putting action into what you're saying. But in whatever decision you're making, the reason I'm saying this and I'm speaking this way is because there are so many people out there that are still championing APC.
Definitely,
They are
there'll be
still
people who do that.
championing that party, the ruling party right now, and it is so sad because in okay, let me tilt a bit here. When you go for marriage counseling and all of that, we advise you to pick a spouse that has someone that they're accountable to, someone they listen to, someone that he knows if he doesn't listen to this person, he has this thing to lose. Now you're picking someone without an identity that has nothing to lose. You know nothing. You don't even know jack about this person, and you're putting him to rule over you. There's already one that someone with let me just say a bit higher or lower IQ than yourself. You have a PhD, you have a master's, but an O-level result holder is leading you. That is one. The second one is he doesn't have an identity, so it doesn't really make any sense to me. Trust me. But like people have said, make sure you do the right thing. Put your actions with your words together and make effort. Put all whatever you want to see or whatever change you want in that polling unit. Make your change from there. Now moving on to the next story of discussion, talking about Monday Okpebholo forest guard training. I think when you hear clown acts, jokes, comedy, you hear Monday Okpebholo because anything that is linked with this man is always hilarious. You've seen the video making rounds on social media over the weekend about his forest guard training. They're doing poo poo like does it. What are you trying to do? What was your intention of doing that? Like,
So I saw
gosh.
someone commented on a post made, I think, by one of the bloggers in Nigeria. And the person said, at this point, Nigerian government should just keep ransom for both the adoptees and their forest guards. You understand? Because we've seen the kind of sophisticated weapons these people carry. You get, it's not a poo-poo kind of thing. Do you understand? So being very serious now, it's not a bad thing. You get, the idea is a good one. You get, getting people, forest guards. I think there are about 497 of them. You get, to go and guard forests in Edo State. Fantastic idea. Now, where I have a problem with them is this going to be the same thing when Nigerians will come out to cry that these people you have put in position, these people you've given weapons to, are actually coming out to oppress us? Is this going to be a case of police 2.0? Do you understand? Because, like I would always say, the average Nigerian is a very wicked person. They're just looking for a little
opportunity.
Do you understand? A little opportunity to be wicked to the next person. Do you get? They're looking for the slighted opportunity. And now you've given 497 of these people guns to go into the bush.
And what was even the criteria to recruit these forest guards?
That's another thing.
What
That's
are the
what's coming to.
criteria? Because I'm seeing 400 and something people from where? The villagers. Are they the villagers or the farmers?
That's what I was coming to. He actually made a statement. He said that they're going to use locals. See his reasons. He said that they're going to use locals because they know the terrain and the environment of Edo State more than any other person. And I'm like, you're giving 497 locals guns to go into. Now, just let's say, for example, now, someone that Mr. A, for example, is having an issue with Mr. B, and Mr. A is a forest guard, and he sees Mr. B in the forest farming or something, or in the bush farming or something. What do you think he's going to do?
And he has a beef with Mr. B.
Do you understand? He's going to. So there are a lot of disadvantage to this thing than advantage. If they are properly trained, beautiful. You get. If they are properly trained and selected, fine and good. But this one you're telling me you're going to use locals and all. And I was watching the video, and there is nothing to show that these men are pot-bellied. These men
They don't even physically fit.
Shape. They don't look in shape too. And I'm like, are these people going to guard or going to protect the forest, or the villagers or the community is going to protect these people? Because I'm seeing them. These people are old men. Do you understand? So what exactly is going on in Edo State? Because this is not the first time we are seeing Monday Okpebholo in the news. The other time he said he built flyover for recreation, maybe for sightseeing or what have you, that the school went to excursion to see a flyover.
And do you know what I perceive? Because going through the comment section, someone made a statement, and I think we should talk about it a bit. The person said something and he was like, this might even be a new strategy to extort monies from the state. Imagine passing a writing like a budget for ammunitions. They are obviously not going to get. They don't even know how to handle the toy guns in their hands. Not to talk of ammunitions or for sophisticated weapons, as a matter of fact. So this could even be a strategy to extort monies from the state. So I don't understand what Nigerians are doing. Please, you guys, you can do better. Our government, you all can do better. Come up with strategies. I feel like these people are they're just, I don't know, because we're beginning to look like a laughing stock to other nations. Do you see how they make mockery of us online, on social media? It's so funny. Like, they know the gist, everything, because we put our lives out there. It's really, really sad. And lastly, I think you should take the last story. What are we talking about last?
Okay, the last story is the governor of Kano and Sokoto states coming out to say that women should not sit in front of tricycles. So what do you think about that? Or you're a woman yourself, so
I think for me it should not be gender based. It should be for both genders. It's not safe to sit in front of a tricycle. It's not safe because it distracts you, it distracts the driver. And even in some other states, particularly Lagos, we see drivers put passengers on both sides, making 3-seaters in a tricycle. So there is even no balance on 3 legs. So it opens the driver and the passengers to danger on the road. So please, let's be very careful and stick to that law. They started already in Kano and
Kano and Sokoto.
So I think they should also pass it down here to
like just like you said,
Lagos.
it shouldn't be gender based. You understand? It shouldn't be gender based. It should be something that nobody should be allowed to sit in the front seat of. It's supposed to be for the driver, for him to be comfortable. You get, because it's the tricycle on its own is not even balanced. You understand? Imagine sitting on something and maybe you're trying to dodge somebody or trying to dodge an object, because when you're driving for 3 persons. You're driving for yourself, you're driving for the next person driving, you're driving for the person walking, the pedestrian. You get, so imagine you're trying to like stabilize and gather
maneuver.
You could just, you get somersault or tumble because it's not balanced, and you have people already obstructing your view and what have you. So please let us pass it down. Not only, it shouldn't just be gender based, it should be everybody. Nobody should be allowed to sit in front, and other governors should take this as a welcome development and welcome it into their states. Yeah,
particularly Lagos, please. We need help over here. Okay, we've come to the end of this amazing edition of the Hot Topic segment on Page by Page. And also don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and X. And also on YouTube at Romeo Royal Media. My name is Oralichid.
And my name is Bubu Drugo. Bye for now.
Bye for now.